You got a nice raspy voice for this shit, though.
That's what I'm saying.
All right there, Tom.
Do you want to bring the episode into it?
We can. Is this episode 16?
It is. I'm losing track fast.
Episode 16. Come thick and fast. This is our first guest in a while, and actually first guest like really outside of our tight knit fucking group. So, mate,
Yeah.
it's an honour to have you on, Saint Quin.
Thank you.
Saint Quin.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to tell the people what you do, what you are?
I like to make music, and I DJ on the weekends, and that's basically it.
This is your calling from the big man upstairs. I mean, we've known you for a few years.
Probably
now.
like
Yeah.
3 or 4, maybe 3 years
Legit,
now.
hey.
It's been crazy, but like we sort of, people come and go that are doing their own shit. But we'll get into that. But just want to recap. So Evan, he's obviously moving into the music space right now as well.
Yes, I saw.
And yeah, what happened on the weekend, Ev? It was
Well, I guess it was more this guy could talk about the weekend. So
Yeah.
like, it was your first event that you were hosting, hey? Or
Yeah, I'm hosting like as my own solo project, and it is good because I've been like a resident of Matter, which is the night that runs on Fridays, at Magnet House, and yeah, like a few of my other friends have been running events and stuff through there, and I was just kind of like, oh, this would be sick doing one for the brand and project, kind of just like getting more awareness out there for the whole solo project, because a lot of people still are unsure like what the hell's going on with it. I haven't really clarified, because like I was in a duo project beforehand, and so people were just like, what's going on there? So I just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm doing my own thing kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you want to get into the duo project and how that started, or?
Yeah, so like a few years ago, it was like someone, like when I was chucking the shit just before, this chick sent me like a memory. It was like 5 years ago. It was like my first ever headline show as my duo project, right? And I was like, damn, it's been like, I was so awkward there. I was like DJing like a freaking Muppet. And
they had your silver hair and everything,
yes,
bro.
and the silver hair, dude, can confirm, they don't have silver hair anymore. Fuck.
How did we already obviously knew you from your duo project, but how did it what made you want to become like a DJ type of thing? Like, how did that even start? Because I know you're big into your jazz music as well.
Oh yes, fuck! I love jazz
So
music.
that
man.
I know that has a massive effect on you, and what type of music you make. But how did you like a lot of people want to become a DJ, but not a lot of people take that first step because they don't know how to type of thing.
The thing we posted for people to send in shit, like honestly, half the people that sent shit in and people messaged me were like, oh, like how did you get into DJing, and like how did you get into DJing? What made you want to do it?
Yeah, true.
Because I think you're like a big inspiration for a lot of people in Australia, but also Perth, because it's so like maybe unknown here.
It's
but
niche.
Yeah, it's very niche.
And like for someone for you to do it successfully is like a big like motivator for a bloke like Evan and other people as well. To be like, fuck, I can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm still obviously throwing. Like, I wouldn't call myself successfully yet, but obviously like it's always like you're always hard on yourself and shit.
Yeah.
First, impressed that like jazz, bro. Like not a lot of people a lot of that shit. It's just like, damn, that
at work, bro.
Yeah, I remember.
We would always like be working like a conveyor top stairs. We'd be picking, you'd be playing your jazz. I'd be like,
yeah, dude,
love this shit, bro.
It's like my big inspiration. So we started there. Okay, so like I've always wanted to do music as like a career when I was growing up, right? I'm Indonesian. I came from an Asian family. They weren't really big supporters of anyone doing creative shit. Both my parents are doctors, so they're always like, you need to do something academic.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, fuck, nah, I don't enjoy any of that shit, bro. Like I can't study. Like I just, my brain doesn't work that way. So like when I saw Flume one time, like I literally just told my best mate, I made a decision right there on the spot. I'm like, dude, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a musician. And he's like, all right, well, and we sat down and made a plan, taught myself and shit through YouTube. And then, and then I had another mate from high school who was in a year under me. He was doing the same thing, but he started off DJing, and then we met at the gym, and I was like, you know what, let's link up and let's make something. And then we were making a whole bunch of things, right? And I'm like a big believer with when it comes to like doing anything creatively, you have to really put your work out there. That's like the biggest thing. So a lot of people hesitate. That's like the biggest thing is to just jump. So like when you're gonna be like, oh, there's so many barriers in your head. Like it's not good enough. This is gonna be shit, or people are not gonna like it. Who gives a fuck?
Bro, I feel that for sure.
Well,
Man.
it's similar to us with this. It was like, fuck, we don't have the outstanding mics, or we still using our iPhone to record our thing. But bro, if you got something to say it.
Dude,
and
just say
people will listen, and you can always like upgrade as you go type of thing.
Yep, 100%.
And like, just get your name out there.
And you won't know progress. No one start. Everyone always has this thing where they think you got to start with like straight away, like the best gear, the best everything. You have the sound, the professional coming out of the woodworks. Like progress is progress, man. People are gonna see that. If people see you, it's almost better if you started off like not as good and then getting better, because then people learn to appreciate how much work you put in. And that's what I did with my partner. Like we just kept making songs. We had this program called Splice, where it's kind of like an iCloud for producers, where like if I saved something on Ableton, he can open it up on his end and then open up where the project can be gone back where where I saved it from. And that was like a new thing back then. So they're running a lot of remix contests, and we were just remixing, getting all these stems, making songs. And I was like, yeah, release it. And then we're like, dude, we've been releasing like 3 songs and stuff through this. Let's think of a name. And I was like, I don't care what the name, just name it something. And he's like, oh, my family has a restaurant in Malaysia called Oriental Cravings. Oriental Cravings it is. Did not think about it,
Yeah,
dude.
crazy.
Did not think about it.
So what year did you first meet him, or like first put your first song out, I guess, for Crave?
Oh man,
or for Oriental Craving. Sorry.
It was like 4 or 5 years ago. It would be
killer.
Like around there, 5 years, 5, 6 maybe. Like but it wasn't like officially. I think the one that really officially like people started noticing we were doing something is when we did a remix for Hermitude. We like did like a little flip, and people were like, oh, they're getting better. And then we just kept, because we're still trying to find our sound, right? And production is so like so broad and so wide. Like there's so many things you can do, so many different genres. Kind of like obviously like DJing is like the aspect of playing it and how you're playing it successfully. Production just opens up a whole wide and different network because it's making it.
I think so many people get confused because I had some guy message me yesterday and he was like, oh, this song, fuck, what's that? Oh, it's a like pretty big song, like European rap, grime, I guess. And he was like, oh, how do you make this song cool? Like basically remixing. And I was I think you're a bit confused, bro. Like producing is like altering the actual music. DJing is like playing the music. Yeah. And you can do a few things, but like you can't actually change the sound of songs.
Yeah. So, a lot of things like that, people get hell confused. Hey, like we'd release a song and you would have like a chick singing on it. And then they would be like, oh, wait, so is this the chick song? It's just like, no, we produced it. Yeah. She's just our feature. Yeah. And people don't get that. I think it's much better now since Flume has been in the woodworks and Skrillex, because they're the biggest inspirations for electronic music. And so because obviously all their features are other people. So they're kind of like, okay, this is his song, but it's featuring these people singing in it. That's making more sense because people get hell. They forget about like the art of making a song is including like the vocals and stuff like that of someone else is part of the process,
Yeah, I just want to just quickly take it back a bit to your duo thing. So is it Eugene, your mate?
Yeah.
So were you friends with him for quite some time before you?
100%, yeah. So he was kind of part of my friends group, and then we obviously got hella close once we started doing the project. And then both of us kind of like started bouncing off each other, and because we were both creative people. Yeah. And he was the one that taught me how to DJ originally. Like when we had our first ever gig, I was shitting myself, and he was like, "I'll take the lead in that," because I taught myself watch a few tutorials on YouTube, but I didn't really know how to properly DJ with CDJs.
What's it like mixing friendship and business together? Because obviously you're not doing that right now, and you said you had like different mindsets of where you wanted to go. So was that tough mixing your best friend and business?
Yeah, it was like
especially in such a creative field.
Oh man, it's like he's very good. We're very good at compromising. That's what you had to do. You had to just compromise. You can't be, if you're doing a duo project like you guys are doing with these two, like you have to make compromises.
100%.
You can't be a stubborn little prick, and be like, no, this is putting my foot down. I met people. This is why I really didn't like collaborating when when we were making songs, because it was already a collab enough working with Eugene. And we there's already two minds sharing an idea into one song. If we collab with some dude who's a solo artist, sometimes they'll be like, hell, like, no, this is how it's going to be. Or like, whatever we did, they're like, nah, I don't like this. Like, they're just not open-minded enough to take on our creative direction, because you got to understand when you're collaborating with someone, like one of you can go this way and the other one can go this way. And the point of you collaborating is to make something that's like insanely both ways, but they try and sway you to go that way.
And you're obviously like a vocal person as well. Were you guys, for me and Ev, sorry, we've got like, I mean, I've known the kind of for like 10 years, bro. Being like best mates, so we can have like a tough conversation if we need to, and be honest with each other. Did you guys have that together?
And 100%.
Did you have many of them?
Yeah, so many like, there's so many like, rough patches, but it always ends up like, we always end up compromising. And then like, you got to work to each other's strengths, like he would understand like, oh, he knows like the way I think is going to be like this. And then, what's worked in the past, oh, if I've said this and it's worked and stuff like that. And then, he kind of just like, understand it worked last time. We might as well try it this time. Yeah. I guess you just got to work with it. And like, obviously now, like the project's, like is done over. Cause like, long story short, him and I had a falling out, and so now like I've lost a mate and I've lost the project and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it boils down to, I don't know, I guess like you got to find something that works for you and prioritize yourself at times, because it can be hard, man, mixing friendship with business, because look, like at the end sometimes it just doesn't work out. Yeah.
So 100%. Running back to the duo, bro, I remember going to work and like the first time I spoke to you, you were like, I'm a DJ.
I was just about to bring this up.
Me being all naive and shit, like I was just saying about other people messaging me, they don't really know what that is. So I'm like, oh, okay, like he's a DJ, okay, like okay, whatever. So then I was like, what's your like name, bro? I'll go like listen to music or whatever. Because you were playing it down like, are you a bit like that? You don't want to like...
I'm never like, I'm just like me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So here's me like thinking, because you were obviously just saying like, oh yeah, I'm just a DJ, bro. I was just DJing on the weekend, like whatever. I was like, all right, I'll go have a look. I go into the break room, I have a look at like SoundCloud and shit. You guys have got like mad listens and then followers on Instagram and shit. I'm like, nah, hold on. I go back out there. I'm all chuffed and shit. I'm like, no, what the fuck, bro? Like, this is crazy. I'm like,
remember that was like Push the Trailer. You're like, wait, this is you? And then I was like, oh yeah, like I'm pretty sure you're like, dude, I think I've heard some of your shit before.
Yeah, because I listen to SoundCloud a lot, like particularly dubstep like scene type stuff, because that's what you guys used to make, right? Like more of that dubsteppy.
Nah, bro, work days would be crazy, obviously, because we did work together. Like we're all like casual. We were working full time at the stage. You were a casual. But we'd see each other so often, and like, bro, you'd come in, you'd be fucking full of energy, and you'd be like, yeah, bro, going to Melbourne next week for a week, fucking touring. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. You were genuinely living your best life. It is. But you were able to come back down to like reality, or like
had to, man,
that place, but still have that bundle of energy. But like, how was touring at like? Dude, how was that? Because that must have been like, fuck, we're doing. It was like
obviously like a dream come true, man. But like it does keep you in like hell humbled, because you can imagine, right? So when I was working at Blackwoods, we were touring pretty heavily. So like every weekend or second weekend, I'd be at a different city, and so throughout the week, I'd be getting hammered by Jared and Ben, giving me shit, and John, like really put me in my place. And then like there are places where you'd go touring, and people are literally like out there just like rocking your socks off. You know what I mean?
Bro, everyone will suck you off. Like.
Yeah, like as in like I'd already finished my set and then people would just be like taking photos, or like, the cities where we were more like hype, that there we got hell good accommodation, like we getting like the fucking presidential suites and shit. Had a fucking amazing bed and an amazing balcony, and like all these drinks, all these food. And then Sunday hits, you're back in Perth, and Monday, bang, straight fucking packing boxes, bro.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like,
fucking hell,
bro, how did you like function? I mean, you didn't. after that, you were only there for probably what, like another 6 months, and
Yeah.
then you just were too busy. And did they just get rid of you, or did you just leave? Or?
Yeah, no, like they, I think what the fuck happened there?
Bro, well, I was about to bring this up. So I was at work like probably a few months ago, and Jared came up to me. And just I always have a conversation with him, and he was like, "Oh, you said like Quincy's doing his DJ thing." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, it's fucking sick." He was like, "Yeah." I said to him like he was in one of the lanes, just fucking packing boxes, you know. And I was like, "This is Jared." He said to you, he was like, "What are you doing, mate?" He's like, "Do you want to be a fucking DJ or not?" And then you were like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "You gotta fucking quit then," type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he's hell real. Yeah.
I was like, bro, like we're experiencing now, like, and I've heard a lot of successful people say a good thing about a real shit job that you fucking hate is that it motivates you to really get out of that place and do whatever
fucking
you want.
oath, man.
Was that like, was Blackwoods like, did it actually contribute to like pushing you to really fucking?
Oh, definitely,
what you wanna do?
100%. Like it was really good because like, I worked in hospitality, right? Which is like, well, firstly, I worked at the bars. Like I worked at Slim's, and I was been doing bartending and shit like that for like 8 years. And so that was like the first step for me to kind of like, oh my god, I'm gonna pursue it because I just couldn't make work anymore. They're only open Friday, Sundays, right? And I'd be touring. So they're like, what is the point of you working here? You can't work when we're open. And I'm like, yeah, good point. So my resignation, they're like really supportive about it. And then Blackwoods was like my little middle ground where I was like, you know what? That still kind of like is a consistent income while I can still do music and I can make it work, you know, because like I don't need to do during the week is fine, you know?
Very flexible.
Yeah. So it's very flexible. So like, I was happy doing that, you know, and I was happy being like around like dude, like, you know, you guys, and I met so many cool people and stuff from there, and it was like an extra form of income because that's the one thing that was the biggest factor in pursuing a music career, man, is your mental health just goes whoop down the drain. Fucking up loads
just
of
because of money, or just because of like you're on the high and then
financial
all of a sudden low?
Yep.
Well, you lived by yourself as well at that time, hey?
No,
Or
I lived
you
with my
your family?
Mizzo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had a Mizzo there.
Holy-
okay.
oh,
I remember that.
shit,
Yeah.
I completely forgot. Yeah,
And that would have been stressful as well.
Dude,
having
100%,
a fucking
man.
relationship
Yeah,
with you,
yeah.
touring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would she come with you?
No, because it'd be expensive, right?
Yeah.
And she's like was a high achiever, so she was like a scholarship psych student, and like, you know, doing her PhD and stuff like that. Sorry, her masters, and she, you know, so she was like super, like always going to, you know, always studying and stuff like that. And I was completely on the opposite spectrum, man. But like, I think communication in that sense is the best thing. So like, you know, every time we go to play at a city when there was like something that almost like happened, you know, like if I like almost cheated on her or some shit, I'll tell her straight up.
Bro, I can just imagine, because like even as a bloke, or if you put yourself in like a girl's perspective, bro, she would have to be so secure in like who she is, and feel so like have like 100% trust that you're not going to do something. If you're like literally you're partying every weekend, with like hot chicks around, that there's drinks flowing everywhere, like bro, like she would have to be so fucking...
Well, that was the thing. So like, I never drunk. Like I only started drinking like mid my music career.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so like we went everything sober. Like we had a rider and everything, which is like, you know, they have to get you these drinks when you play a show, and you send it to, like, our management will send it to them, and then they'll provide a big bucket, iced, a bunch of alcohol, a bunch of whatever. We just give them away to the people that come to the show and stuff. And then it wasn't when my mental health started getting hella, like, because I get anxiety like hell bad. I get nervous before a set when I was in the duo. Like that was when it started arising, and then, you know, I resolved to drinking. Is better now. Like I faced that fear of performing now, but back then it was really, really hard. Hey, like I'll just always have like, oh my God, I'm going to screw up. Oh my God, I'm going to screw up. And she was there since the start of my music career, so she kind of knows me as a person anyway, and she has that trust, because I'm like, I'm a big communicator. So like in a relationship, you have to really talk to people, and like especially if you have a partner. Now it's a whole different story because I'm single, but like then that's how she was, like, you know, constantly reassuring her and stuff like that. But it did. Yeah, so much thing, because I had that, you know, I had like, you know, the money situation, because, you know, if you ended up going like touring, and then it was like, you know, it wasn't like a big enough leg, or then you have to fork out your own money. That's like, and then you have to pay your rent and your stuff, you know, like, no one really understands that as a duo, you're still one brand, right? Oriented Craving still one brand. We don't get paid as two people.
Yeah.
You could be a solo act and be touring on the same circuit as us, we'd meet up. You get paid like, you know, $4,000 for an hour. We'd get paid $4,000 an hour as well, but we have to split it.
Yeah, you're making
with two
double
people,
essentially.
you
Yeah.
know?
And especially you started to like get a team around you as well.
Yeah, like that's slowly, like as we progressed, it was like the smart move was to, you know, people that did stuff better than we did, just delegated it. And then there were people that come up to you with all different kinds of like skills, and they're pursuing their own careers. And they're like, really believe in your project. I want to, you know, be a part of it. And then that happened. That's how it happens, you know. If you just don't be a dick, they'll usually help you out.
You
So
said, yeah, you go.
I was just gonna say, so do you, with your mental health, bro, do you reckon it was like, were you like depressed and stuff as well, or just
I didn't know. See, I'm a
anxiety?
stubborn piece of shit. I didn't know I was depressed. I just thought that I needed to do more, but I didn't. You know, what I needed to do was take a step back and enjoy what I've done, what I've created, and appreciate every single release you've done. Appreciate all the little wins, which is something that not a lot of people tend to do in the music career. You know, like, for example, like, you know, all these DJs would play our shit, right? Like, you had fucking Dylan Francis said our name and stuff on the radio, talked about us, dude. Never met the cunt in my life. Dude, I don't know where the fuck he found us from. And I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know. Alice in Wonderland did the same thing. It was kind of like, oh, whatever, we need to make something else. Like, when I look back at now, when I'm in a much better headspace, I'm just kind of like, man, I kind of like regret not being there and living it in the moment and just appreciating, like, fuck me, like, that fucking happened.
Well, I remember when
you
you told me that Alice in Wonderland had played, because you told me that you had hit her up like an hour before a set, not even, and then she just like was like, yeah, fine, like send it through and I'll play it.
Yeah, thinking outside the box. And so like, I know she was headlining EDC Las Vegas, right? And like, so I wanted to catch her. I was waiting there, like literally on my, like we had a track and stuff finished, and I knew it was a fucking banger track. It came together in like 6 hours, and I was like, this is gonna fucking bang, dude. Someone has to play this in EDC. And Alice in Wonderland's our best shot because she's always held responsive to people, right? And I was just waiting for her. So I saw like the ring around thing, like she put a story. She's like prepping for EDC, like hell knows, like bam. I know she was on the phone. Messages straight away. I'm like, Alex, oh, I got this song and stuff like that. You know, if you need some new tunes to play out, here's one. I put it out there, bro. Like seen straight away. Listen to it, and she's like, wow. Like, I think I still have the message, bro, on my fucking phone.
Yeah, maybe you showed me. I was like, fuck, bro, that's so sick.
And then she's like, I'm going to play this mid-set EDC. And I was like, no fucking way. Watched the live stream with Eugene. I'm like, oh, I watched it. We were just there sitting it. And then I heard like the intro of the song, and I was like, oh my God, fuck. And when he did, like, he had it recording already, like the set, and then she played it, and that kickstarted like our career to a better height, you know. And then from then on, it was just like momentum after momentum.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I remember when you told me, bro. Like, did you like understand how big that was at the time, or like when you're saying appreciate the little things, or was that just like another thing?
That was like a big thing, like as in like, because that was before the whole depression, like before like I was getting, you know, the mental health stage was getting hell bad, because that was before we went touring and stuff like that, right? That was like at this phase when you're like creating stuff, and then you're just like, oh, let's you know, let's see how it goes, you know. We had like a pretty decent following in SoundCloud then, just because we were releasing a whole bunch of like flips and stuff like that, and so we were building some traction. But this is one of the ones that like firstly put us on the map, you know. And then there was a few more releases and stuff from then, yeah. But it was just like, it was just insane, dude. And then from then, like, I was like, I talked to her, I'm like, thank you so much. It was incredible. Then out of all the songs she played in EDC, someone put it on Twitter, and then it blew up on Twitter and was like, what the hell is this song that she transitioned to it? And then that blew it up even more. Then she was like, oh yeah, I sent it to Diplo and I sent it to Jaws. And I was like, shit,
bro, it's crazy how something like that, like a simple message, can have such a fucking big effect, bro. Like, yeah, it's like a tiny message that you did, like almost shooting into the blanks.
Yeah, ripple effect, bro.
It's kind of just like, you know, you're not really expecting anything. Oh, well, may as well give it a crack. And it's like you get a bit of like, she reciprocates the energy, and it's like bang, all of a sudden it's like boom. You know, your career's just got like a big fucking boost, bro. It's like
a boost, right? Crazy. And then like when that happens, you have to help capitalize on it make more shit, put more things out, you know. Well, that's, but one thing I regret, it was like when we were starting to build up traction, like our manager and stuff like that was kind of like, all right, guys, we got to stop. We got to give it a breather so people can hype you up. Whereas like that in that era was when the industry was shifting to like more releases. Like they were demanding for more releases and stuff like that. It was shifting to that part, because nowadays to make it big, you have to have literally like 50 tracks and then put out like 2 a month. Like you have to, it's so hard to be relevant because there's so much clutter and so much noise. You have to stand out. You have to constantly put shit out, right? And that would have been the perfect time for us to just kept going on with the momentum. But like we were like, no, let's put out 1 song every 3 months. We should have been churning out 2 songs a month. And that slowed down our traction, and that's what I kind of like regret. Hey,
well, that's like marketing 101, bro. I mean, I don't know if you know, I'm studying marketing, bro. It's like, if you're not, you got to stay fresh in people's head, bro.
Yep.
And unfortunately, like these days, if you're relevant, you have the relevance. If you fall off relevance for like a month, bro,
it's done. It's starting.
They're on to the next thing, bro.
They're on to the next thing. 100%.
People have a 3-second attention span, bro. So like, you got to constantly be like, new track. They're like, holy shit, new track. New video.
Legit.
Like you got to just be in their head so that they can never ever forget about you.
Yeah,
and that's how
like
how
the
you stay
wheel
at the top.
gets heavier, right? And then once it starts spinning, like and you start building traction, it actually, because of how the industry is, like your stuff will get around much easier. But to make that fucking wheel spin is a fucking new different story, you know? Like, you know, it slowly starts spinning when you release that, you release mixes, fucking put videos out, it slowly starts spinning, and then you got to keep fucking fueling that to make it spin. And then when it does, it'll spin itself because it's a big wheel. But to start it off, man, is a fucking piece of work. Hey?
It's a grind, bro.
Yeah. Even like now with my own solo project, man, like I'm 4 tracks down, 5 tracks down. You know, I started like 5 months ago. The first track I released, I think it's almost hit 100K on Spotify. But like, you know, that's nothing nowadays, you know, like it's that's how crazy it is. Like,
was that the Rum and Spice?
Yeah, Rum with the Spice. It's kind of like, you know, it's a completely different take on it, but it's just like, oh, it's whatever. Like I'm not like, oh my God, fuck you know, it's just kind of like whatever. I know I have to put way more work into it. Like I probably have to put like 20 something songs out before my brand starts solidifying and becoming like, oh yeah, this guy produces himself. You know?
I really like your new song, bro.
Yeah, cheers. What, the White and Grey? Yeah,
that's
about
my
my little
vibe,
dog.
bro. Yeah, it's a vibe.
Thanks,
that's a
man.
vibe.
How was you said your relationship with your mate like sort of dwindled out and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Did COVID have an impact on that because you weren't able to tour?
Man. It was not because of COVID. It was because it started off because, so how funny is this, right? Okay, it's not funny. It fucking sucks. But we were named Oriental Cravings, and we had to rebrand it because we toured around Australia, we toured around New Zealand. It was like, yeah, done and dusted, done. We even did dates in Asia, China, and when we were literally like ready, we were ready to go tour in the States. Like the whole team, our agency knew we were ready. We were getting pitched out to them. Even they were like wanting to pick us up. The only hurdle that they fucking got, the only objection was the name. No one wanted to pull the trigger on us because they felt like it was going to get backfired on them because of the word Oriental in the name.
So what was offensive about the Oriental part?
All right, get this right. So cunts be like, oh, our Oriental, bro. It's like it's you know, it's pretty like politically incorrect, dude. It's like saying the N-word but for Asians. Okay, man, say the N-word. Dude, I can't say the N-word. Well, you just said Oriental, so how is it the same?
Oh, true. That's a good... Bro, wait. But don't you have some Asian background anyway?
Bro, I'm Indonesian, 100%.
So...
I speak fluent Indonesian. Eugene is Malaysian
Chinese.
Chinese.
Brother, that's like me being black and then being like, oh... like
think of NWA.
My name. Yeah.
Yep.
NWA.
Yeah, they're black, bro. It's not...
But back then it's completely different to now.
Yeah,
because America is so PC as hell, you know.
Oh,
but
mate,
even
mate.
like African American artists and like the grime scene in the UK with the black people over there, like, bro, if you listen to their songs, they're all saying those types of words.
I know, hey,
that's wild to me, bro.
But see again, that's like in them. That's like that's the culture of rap, right?
Yeah,
is being like how derogatory, it's being held like rude, and it's being held up front with it because that's the whole arts of it. Whereas in EDM, like making like, you know, trap music, making bass music and stuff like that, they want to tour on the circuit, bro. We were co-headlining in Sydney, and an American artist, their whole management said that they didn't want to put the posters up because our name was on there. Because they're like, no, it wouldn't be good for his followers because, build next to you guys, it's the name is politically incorrect. It's like,
dude, Americans,
well, that sucked,
bro. Any of you Americans here, you suck, eh? I don't even care, bro. Keep watching, but you suck. Like, bro, honestly, like some of the shit that's going on over there is,
it's crazy. So like, when you change your name, man, you pretty much lose the whole brand.
yeah, because
You build up so many things. Like, there's no way. Like, honestly, like I swear to God, like only 10% of people like caught on. Like the rest was just like, oh, rest in peace. Someone like even put the video of us and was like, oh, rest in peace, Oriental Cravings, like on an R.O. Grimes fan page, because we were like, one of our songs that went hella viral was like, pretty much like, praised by him. And so he was kind of a big part of our career as well. And like, we were like, fuck, we're not going anywhere. And then this guy's like putting rip, and people were just like, oh, damn.
Fuck, that would have been brutal, eh? Because that was why you had to rebrand to Crave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The name, bro, it fucking sucks.
It's the problem. I mean, I actually don't think the name's too bad. It's more so the fact that like anyone that in like the back of their head might have someone like, if just through conversation or Oriental Cravings, like they'll be like, oh, I've heard of them. Like, fuck, who's that? But then if you're like, oh, Craves Plan, they're like,
never
heard of that before.
No shit, dude.
Whereas like, because they've heard Oriental Cravings, it's like, oh fuck, I feel like I've heard them. They'll set you up. Oh, I'll go watch that.
And the name is so it kind of like sticks out, because we were doing so many little like fucking videos, and we were sponsoring them around like in Australia, and so like our content was quite relevant at one point where we were just always putting out videos, always putting out content, and people were engaging with it, and they were kind of like, oh man, the OC boys, Oriental boys and stuff like that. But like in Australia, it took us up with open arms. Like they love the name. Most everyone that I've talked to, they're like, dude, don't change the name. That's the fucking fun part of our brand, is the fact that you had a weird ass name like that. Because no one else would ever thought about making a fucking name like that. Who would? But the whole point was like, it was named after a restaurant. It was not named like, one time I even had like a video where I was trying to like, interview random people in the street in Sydney, and I'm like, oh, when I say the word Oriental, what's the first thing that pops up into your head? And they're like, Asian food, or like,
noodles,
spring rolls, noodles. And then there's one dude that said Asian bitches, and I was like, and moving on from him, I was like,
that's
dude,
funny.
So obviously the fucking your duo thing, it came to an end.
Yeah,
you parted ways. I mean, was there a point where you like, obviously because you're at such a high, you toured, like you said, you're ready to go to the States, and when all that comes not crashing down, but it comes to an end type of thing, was there a point where you almost gave music up? Or
fucking oath, man. Like, oh, dude, so much, bro. So much me just like talking to myself, just like, because, dude, that's the biggest thing, man. Like the biggest freaking thing that I can like, because like, I know you want to get into music. One thing that you got to look forward to is just constantly being let down. Like you can die and someone will still let you down after your fucking death, bro. Like it is a constant battle of keeping your head high after being let down. It sucks, especially when you're getting into the circuit where like, imagine you're like, making music and touring. You're making music and touring. You're both hell good friends. Then they have one more slot of fucking festival. And then you fucking get it and you don't. You're going to be like, what the fuck? What am I doing wrong? You're going to start like, dude, I must be so shit compared to Ev. Like, this sucks, like, why is his music much better than mine, getting praise on mine? Why is he being billed? Like, you just start comparing yourself. You start like just doubting, so much self-doubt, bro. It's like the worst fucking kind of shit that you go through. And it was lucky enough that, there was two of us, because so then we can kind of like bounce off each other and like better each other up. But that was like the biggest struggle. And like, yeah, I 100% almost gave up so many times, dude. I was kind of just like, fuck this shit. But then you got to like learn to take time off and then come back to it later. And
that's what you did between the duo ending and then what you're doing now?
Yeah. Well, see now, like right now, I'm still, man, like I even yesterday, bro, I was getting hella emotional and just sitting there. Like, cause I work at a gym, right? I'm sitting there like I run at a gym and, and I'm kind of like, fuck, dude, I've just kind of gone kind of backwards, take a step down, and like I'm working again. I'm not putting as much time I am in music. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm like moving away from my fucking dream. You know, I got to fucking do something about that. And just so a lot of self-reflection. But I think you end up maturing as a person more when you get into a creative career because you have so much self-reflection that you got to do.
Yeah, bro. No, we've even experienced that with what we're doing. So
Exactly.
like a video doesn't do as well as you thought it would, or like it didn't go as well as last week's
100%,
one, and then you're like, "Fuck, we thought that was going to be so
Yes.
fucking good. Like, why did that not pop off?"
100%.
But I think you're quite good at doing this. Is like just catching yourself in the moment and being like, "It's not that bad." Like,
Yeah, bro.
You go again type of.
I reckon
thing.
that's something you've probably developed over the years,
Yeah,
to
over
be
the
honest.
years,
Because
yeah.
at the start, like, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine that like you guys would have put out a song for Oriental Cravings, and you would have had like, say it did a quarter of what your other song did. You would have been like, what the
100%,
fuck, bro?
yeah,
This one's
100%.
the best song we've ever made in your head.
Yeah.
But then it would shit.
And then one that you fucking make in fucking one day goes and fucking blows up, bro.
Yeah,
bro.
And you just like fuck it, and then it's just constant like of your like self-reflection and learning from that you just kind of like, you know what, you're just gonna just start putting things out. There's nothing to measure. You know, you can't really measure anything. Like you can't measure that. Oh, this one's gonna get picked up. This one isn't. You just gotta like it's so much luck is involved in it as well.
Oh, yeah,
you gotta
for
throw
sure.
throw shit at the wall until something sticks, man. That's all what it is.
That one's there for everyone there, like, because I feel like that's the biggest thing getting into any creative field, where it's like you want to be a YouTuber, whether you want to be a DJ, whether you want to be a producer, whether you want to be whatever it is, a photographer. Just start throwing shit, bro. If something sticks, then you'll be like, well, let's go down this road.
Prepare for mental struggle. Prepare to be let down. Prepare to be disappointed. Prepare to work long fucking hours and receive shit all back.
That's the big one, I think, the hours. People, like, for even your solo project, right? I imagine, like, anyone that went to that show, they see you play for an hour and a half, right? They're like, oh, that was cool, hour and a half. Bro, they didn't see the fucking hours of the prep that you've been doing for that show. That the songs you've been making, because you had a few unreleased tracks in there. Like,
exactly, man.
Bro, they don't see all that. They see the hour and a half that you play, you get paid for your hour and a half or whatever. And then it's like, on to the next one, and people are just waiting for the next one, and they want you to do it next week. They're like, oh, what? Like for us, they're like, bro, surely you guys can do like 3 podcasts a week. I'm like, cunt, do you even understand? Bro, I have like a job, uni, bro.
Exactly,
like, I'm busy,
dude.
man.
Everyone just always just sees the surface, man. So much work to put in there, but like in creative careers though, like that bit of success that when it happens, it feels like nothing else, bro. It is the
100%.
biggest high you can ever get, right?
Bro,
like
I played my first club gig, obviously thanks to you. For anyone that doesn't know, Quincy was the bloke that like hit me up for that. Bro, I was on like cloud 9, bro. For me, that's like the biggest fucking win that, well, obviously it is the biggest win I've ever had like in the DJing field to date. So it's like, bro, I was on fucking like, I was fucking cracked out of my brain.
Crazy. And I love that, like the fact that I could help you do that. You know, like next time I want to put you on the stage downstairs, and then you'll probably lose your head even fucking more because it'd be like fucking proper visuals, proper sound system and stuff. Like it'll be like you're on a fucking stage and shit like that, right?
That was such a sick event. Was it successful? Like everyone was pretty happy? Like,
everyone. It was good. It was really good turnout and shit like that. It was like the first time I ran like my own like takeover, and because the guys that ran it, like the whole fucking thing, the one that owns the whole thing, bro, like when I was first starting music and I was working as a bartender and shit, he was first getting into events. So I still remember the day when he's like, Jared was like, oh dude, like I'm running this event over in Subiaco, you should come check it out, man. It's called Flawless. And bro, now this cunt's like running seasons and shit, you know.
Oh true. You playing or?
Yeah, but I'm playing in the silent disco one because like I hollered at him hell late, you know. I was kind of like, oh
fuck, maybe we'll see you there, bro. I might not remember, but
no, it's you know, it's all great fun. Like, but nowadays things are shifting, you know. It's not like back in the day, like EDM was such a thing, trap music, you know. Now people are like hell into live music a little bit more, and you know, rap is taking over the whole music scene, dude.
Yeah,
whole music scene. So no one really gives a shit about the stuff that I'm putting out if it doesn't have vocals and stuff anymore.
So is that what your biggest decision was? Because obviously, well, not obvious for anyone else, but for like me seeing it. So like you guys went from pretty like heavy EDM shit, not like a basic house tracks. You guys were putting out like, you know, trap music, dubstep, that sort of scene. Yeah. And then to go from that into was the Run with the Spice, was that your first track that was?
Yeah, my first track, my solo act. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was obviously like singing, and that was a bit more.
Because there's like, I want to showcase to people that I'm like, man, I'm not just a trap producer. I can make any genre, you know.
I mean, it was good, bro.
Yeah,
Like, it was a good track. So
yeah, I fucking like love making it. It's kind of like, it's something different, you know. Sometimes you want to take a step back, and it's like, you know, maybe like I like making stuff like this, you know. Then maybe I like making something housey, you know. But I still have three songs that I've already signed that are coming out on a new label in the next 3 months for like it's whole banger EDM shit. That's the ones that you saw me play.
My mate was like standing up. I was standing like straight after my set. I was just standing up on the top balcony, and I was just looking down at like next to you, like not. I was upstairs, but I was next to you, just like watching you. And I was just like, holy fuck, bro! Like, fucking, it was going off, bro. I was like to my mate, because my mate had never heard of you, but he loves like dubstep and stuff.
Oh fuck!
And then I was like, nah, bro, this sounds like pretty sick, bro. Just wait. And then you played that track, and it was kind of like, it was like flipping. It was almost like a flipping genres, but in the track, it was like a fucking hard, like slower drop, and then it was like a doo, like that.
It was
that trancey shit, and I was like, fuck, bro, like, holy shit, like, it was sick, bro. I'll boost your ego, but yeah, I was fucking fire, bro. No.
Honestly, one of my favorite songs I've made as well. Like, I fucking love that one, just because like the switch up.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to try and kind of do a lot more with my heavier productions. It's like doing a lot more switch ups, because that's the thing that people like nowadays.
I think they'll catch on, bro. I think they'll catch on heavy. People,
Yeah.
like people. Well, I love that shit, and heaps of my like people I know love that shit. So
fuck yeah, dude. Oh, I can't wait, man, to play that. Yeah. I think that's coming out. Hopefully, like, either if it's not next month, the month after. Just need to sort. Yeah, the label that was started up just has to sort their shit out. But I'm so excited to start releasing heavy music again, dude, because I fucking miss it, man.
Nah, that'd be fire.
Yeah.
I'll definitely listen to that.
You said people's interests have changed, and like certain people out there aren't interested in terms of like what you're making because they're on vocals and whatnot, and like that. Have you gotten to the point in like your career though where you're not gonna like bow down to like social norms? And
never ever bow down to social
because
norms,
like
dude.
It'll make you happy in the end. It's like even with what we're doing, like people want us to fucking talk about like us basically like fucking talking about sex, everything like that, bro. And it's like, well, like, yes, we'll speak about that here and there, but like it's not gonna, like, we want to do what like we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And if we lose a few followers from that, or if we lose a few views, then so be it. But we know that core group that we have is going to be more beneficial for us in the future, as opposed to like doing what works right now.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, so like obviously like you just gotta you gotta like know what you want to make, you know, and like kind of have a goal. I don't ever like make a certain genre because someone else wants me to make it.
Yeah.
I only make it whatever I'm inspired by. It kind of sucks because I'm inspired by a lot of things, and like I appreciate so much rap music. I appreciate house music. I appreciate jazz, acoustic music. So I have like all that kind of vibe of songs like hell coming out, you know. And I still appreciate like heavy music. And
do you reckon that comes from being, sorry bro, I cut you off, but do you reckon that comes from being like a DJ? Because I feel like for me personally, bro, I used to, like, I'll listen to everything now.
Yeah, what's good.
And I'll appreciate like everything.
It means you have a good, that's already a good foundation for you as a DJ and as someone who wants to get into creative space, because like you have no idea how much influence you can get from other genres. That's the thing, man. Like, if you only listen to dubstep and you want to be a dubstep DJ and you want to produce dubstep and you want to be played by all the dubstep artists, I guarantee your production is going to sound like every other dubstep dude.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
But like, you know, like for me, it was like, I want to make bass music. I never said with what type of bass music. I just want to make something heavy. But I would never ever listen. You'll never catch me at fucking home listening to fucking rhythm or drum or full on intense drum and bass or dubstep. I fucking love them. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just don't listen to them. That's not where I get my inspiration from. So all this stuff, if I make my music from, I get it from other genres, and I implement that into the techniques and into what makes the genre. You know, what makes the genre dubstep is a few things, right? And then I take the inspiration from like jazz and shit like that, and I integrate it into it. You know, just the way, like the movements, the chords, the type of like synths that go into it. So that when I do make a piece of work, it's like shit that sounds like no one else's. Which is that's what like we get told is just like our stuff sounds hella unique in the way we do our shit.
Well,
Yeah,
like
I was
you-
about to say that. So yeah, I was
Like
about
you
to-
just said, I mean, say like an up and coming guitar player, and he like loves John Mayer. If he all he does is just listen to John Mayer,
Dude, he's gonna
all he's
sound
gonna do is sound exactly the
exactly
same.
like John Mayer.
And John
dude.
Mayer's already out there, bro.
Yep. You
You're
don't
not
need
gonna
another
overtake
John
him.
Mayer, bro.
Yeah, and people are going to listen to John Mayer over Joe Blogs from
Exactly
who's
right.
trying to be John Mayer.
Yeah.
But not a lot of
100%.
people, not a lot of like up and coming artists who want to do that. They don't catch
Yeah.
themselves. They don't like
Yeah.
realize that, like you just said, you can't just like. I mean, I've heard that a lot of successful people don't let themselves listen to like. They might love it, but they don't let themselves listen to
That genre.
that genre
Yep.
because it'll influence their music way too much and their songwriting process and
100%, man.
whatnot.
Your subconscious picks up so much information, and you don't realize like how much
How it
like
affects you.
how much you implement like techniques and other sounds from other genres until you start making it yourself. Like until you start making the music.
Yeah.
Like you said, you want to get into production. You'll face all those obstacles. You see, like you start hearing like shit on the radio, like, and then you want to make a fucking pop song, and then it'll clash to if you want to make like a fucking drum and bass song or a dubstep song. Completely different formulas, right?
Yeah.
Completely different ways to make it, but there's no rules though. So like. That's what the fun part is. Like don't set yourself limitations. Like, oh, I can't do this because who fucking says? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's the beauty of the creative industry, I guess, isn't it?
Bro, I farted in a microphone and made a song out of it.
Wait, actually?
Fucking, it's not that hard.
Did you actually do that?
Yeah, you can. It's dude, literally 10 minutes. I can do it. I can make a dubstep song with my fart.
Bro, do you remember a movie that we love, We Are Your Friends? Have you seen it with Zac Efron? And
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah.
when they're in the when he's in the rich bloke's studio, and he's just on his MacBook and he's using those like real general like I don't know what like tracks on his Mac.
It's just that the actual
And then
samples
the
on
guy's
laptop.
like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Pick up some fucking random shit." He just starts banging stuff. He's like, "Create your own sounds, bro.
Yeah.
Stop using all this generic shit."
Yeah,
and
the
like,
end, and
Yeah.
at the end of the song, like I think like a nail gun was like the kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like obviously a drum was like him running. And, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then him panting was like a little like the little
Yeah.
like in
yeah.
the background.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I think like it's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, 100% shit like that, man. Like, and then sometimes like you can speak into a microphone, and then you can like bits of a phrase can just like come out of that. You put a reverb and you put a delay, and then it sounds like like fucking sounds sick.
I was gonna say you should actually low-key, I'm not even kidding. You should do a YouTube video, making a song out of a fart.
Yeah,
Swear to God,
dude.
bro, that will bang. I'm not even kidding. I'll watch it.
on TikTok it would 100%.
Bruv, that will, if you actually do that, do a TikTok video. Do you have a TikTok?
I
Bro,
do
you
have a
need to get
TikTok, but I
TikTok.
haven't. I was making videos during lockdown last year when this whole lockdown thing happened, and I was making the most fucking just random shit. Hey,
Bro, you should definitely do that, the farting video, bro, because just cut it up. So be like, all right, this is now my kick from like obviously do the fart, and this is my kick, this is my whatever you need to make your song up, and then just be like, all right, this is my song, and then bro, it will go so viral. I'm swear that's 1 million views straight up. No, I'm not even joking.
I should do a series where I just like turn this into dubstep. I'm just gonna turn
Random
everything-
sounds.
Yeah,
Bang, there you go.
turning random sounds.
Let us know
into
if you
dubstep.
want to see that. I reckon
Turning
that'd be
random
sick.
sounds. Yeah.
So
Dude.
you're
Imagine that. I'm gonna turn like a video of you guys on your podcast like laughing or something, and then I'll turn it into a fucking dubstep song.
I think someone
Bro.
did that for Jumbo and Deal, didn't
Do
they?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. Not.
But
quite
it was
the
like a
same.
homemade, like I'm pretty sure.
It wasn't. They just kind of took them
Ain't no Saint
talking,
Quin
I
shit.
guess.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, that'd be sick.
yeah.
I mean, I had to look at your little studio setup, bro. It was fucking dope.
Oh yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I was fucking smashed, but
Yeah.
it's still sick.
No, it's sick. Yeah.
So yeah, are you DJing often now?
I
Because I, see
DJ
you,
like 2-3 times a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like but like I haven't been because I just have residencies, so that's what I have been. I've been proactively looking for gigs. When I was doing that, I could get like 5 gigs a week, which was sick, And like when I was first DJing, which was like last year, because believe it or not, I've only been DJing for a year technically, and that was hell fun, just playing a bunch of different places. But now I'm just lockdown residency, so I have like rosters every month that comes out. Like I'll be playing here, I'll be playing.
So when you say like a residency, like does that mean you're?
So residencies is what like you as a person who ever wants to DJ, it's like the best thing you can get because it's recurring gigs and the same venues, and you're building up relationship with that venue and the promoters in that venue, And so like for example, I have residency at synagogue at the Arbor. So like last year during New Year's, they put me on main stage countdown in front of 3,000 people. You know what I mean? So like, because like I was loyal, I'm loyal to them and the people booking me and stuff like that, always helping them out. It's just like residencies of that. And then I get given a roster, like, okay, this month, you know, because you're playing these 3 weekends.
So it's essentially like having a real job, I guess. So is that like contracted? So like
No, it's not. So it's all still casual. Like you could fuck up one time.
Yeah, and they'll just be like,
and I kind of did, because like I started getting hell drunk and going hell too ham. Like, 'cause some of these, I get, man, when I get, I'm so prone to suggestions when I'm so lit, and people are just like, dude, play some wubs, and I'm just here at Arbor, fucking old cunt. And then the fucking, like, the manager's coming down, just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, it's like, dude, it's so lit. Boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang. And like they're going off, bro. But like, that's not what they want, you know?
Yeah,
and then next month, one set the whole month. I'm like, fuck.
bro, how
hilarious.
shit are song requests, bruv?
Bro, it is the fucking worst. Okay, when you go out there, when you're DJing, have Snapchat open, take a photo with a blank thing and just leave it there. Because then they're going to start putting some of these, and you're going to put some of these with a big fat N-O in front of their face.
Bro, like, when I was, because I'm DJing at house party, that's predominantly what I'm doing at the moment, just for like money, I guess.
You get so much of people just fucking going ham.
And it's like word of mouth, people.
Yeah.
But bro, like so many people like want to, they're like, oh, where are you playing next? Like after the thing, I'm like, nowhere yet. Honestly, I got to start hitting up some promoters and shit. But like, bro, the amount of people at house parties, like I'll have a vibe. You know, it's literally the job of the DJ to set the vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got this vibe that I'm going to work through, you know, start slow, work the dance floor, get some people on the dance floor, and then try to keep them there. Yeah. And then I have fucking some 45-year-old MILF mum come up to me and she's like, God. You reckon you can play some fucking Jimmy Barnes? I'm like, cuz, are you serious? I'm literally playing fucking like 126 BPM, like some house tracks.
Exactly.
People are vibing to this stuff, and you want me to fucking rip into some like 60 BPM.
I hate it
Jimmy
because
Barnes.
they don't realize how entitled they sound when they do shit like that. Like, you want me, like, sometimes I just want to sit this white bitch down, bro. Next to me, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, listen to it. You want me to stop what I'm doing to cater your fucking, like, for you? There's 100 people in here, but your decision has to be the most important, does it? It fucking pisses me off, man.
I had an argument with the chick one time. Because, like, she was like...
100%, man.
She came up 3 times, bro. I was like, get the fucking message, bitch.
Dude.
I'm not going to play your song.
Literally.
Comes up the 3rd time. She's like, have you played my song yet? I was like, look, honestly, like... I was like, come over here. I said, look at my laptop. I was like, you see this fucking BPM? I was like, look at your BPM of your song. Yeah. See how all these people are dancing like this? Doom, doom. I was like, if I play this 60 BPM track, you're going to be happy. Guess what all these fucking 50 other people are going to do? Go straight to the bar and get a drink and not come back to the dance floor. I have to work for another 2 hours to get it back here.
Literally.
But 100%. Like you said, they only see you for face value, bro. They don't, you know, they see you as like one of those random 60-year-old blokes who owns a pair of speakers and used to do it at like the fucking cricket club type of thing. And you're just there to fucking, you know, play music. Bro, you're actually taking it seriously.
They want their 2 minutes of happiness
to
ruin 4 hours of a good night for everyone else.
The best thing you say is just like, oh, I don't have that song. I've already got my set play. Like, it's annoying to keep saying it, but it's just like, bro, I don't even trust women anymore, man. When I'm DJing, I used to like try and go hit on girls. Like, while I'm like, you know, DJing, like you give the looks and shit. Then they'll come up to you. But like now every time they come up to you and they give you their fucking fuck eyes, you're just like... No, mate. No,
I sort of know what you're saying just from house
Because I'm literally just like, I don't go, oh, hey, baby, what's up? I'm just like, what do you want? And then they're just like, can you please? No, get out. And they're just like, oh my God, they just fucking walk away. Yeah. I fucking hate it, bro. Like, I was so naive at the start before, and I was like, ooh, fucking, you know. And then sometimes it backfires on me because sometimes they just want to talk to me. And they're just like, you know, like actually trying to hit on me. And then I'm just telling them to fuck off. Yeah. And I just sound like a fucking cunt. So like when I have someone on the dance floor, I always, you know, I text my mate. I'm like, can you just suss out to see what this bitch is doing? Like, yeah, she's a fucking 10, bro. But just like suss it out if I have to tell her to fuck off or not. And he'll message me back and he'll be like, no, it's green light, bro. Like, good, she's good. I'm like, okay, good. Now I can talk to this girl.
Nah, that's mad, bro. Yeah. So how many residencies are you at then?
So I play at Arcade. That was a new one. Don't play as often because I haven't really sent them availabilities. But Arcade, Matter, which is a Magnet House on Fridays, Humble, Jackrabbit Slims, and Arbor. So I have 5. So
that's it.
So that's like pretty good. But then again,
what was the first one you said? Arcade.
Arcade.
Is that a club?
Yeah, that's the one at in Joondalup. So I have it in all
there.
sectors. So like Joondalup, Fremantle, and Hugo's. So it's technically 6. So I have 2 in Fremantle, 1 in Joondalup, 2 in Northbridge, 1 in the city. But it's just kind of like, it's...
Like 2 in the city, eh? Humble and Magnet, or are they the same?
No, Humble's in Northbridge.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
so
Yeah.
Slims, yeah. But like, I generally just end up like sending availabilities to the place that I like, which is Slims. So I play there and Arbor.
Yeah, Slims is dirty, bro.
Dude, when was the last time you guys went there?
Bro, I've been trying to get all the boys to go back there for the last 3 months.
Bro,
really?
I'm telling you, it is
busy as
insane,
fuck.
bro. That's why you messaged me, bro, and I'll set you on the door.
I feel like the with Slims now. I mean, once again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the last year they've really gone hard on trying to get good DJs rather than just playing the same old shit. Because I used to go there and it was all right, but like it wasn't really my vibe of music. But like now that I'm looking at the DJs, like I love Triplets stuff, like DJing wise. I think she's fucking sick DJs, pretty much like
dope too,
the same likes the same sort of music that I like, and then obviously you, and then they're the two. You guys are the 2 that I've seen predominantly like at Slims that I know of.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've definitely cracked down on trying to get good DJs.
Yeah, they've done really well because like again, I used to work there, so it's really easy for me. That was like the biggest advantage, obviously, because like most of these people that I've booking and all these things knew me from Oriental Cravings days, so I had it so much easier than a lot of like people that wanted to start a DJing because I was just kind of like, you know what, I want to start DJing, and then they're kind of like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, can you put me in somewhere? Like, I don't care. I'll play an opening slot. I don't give a shit. And they were just like, they started putting me all these places, and then that's when I got locked down for residencies. But it's not normal for anyone to just DJ and fucking lock down that many residencies. You gotta hustle for it. Because you gotta obviously make a name for yourself. I was lucky enough that I made kind of a name for myself making music that it translated over to doing the DJing side. But for your normal average Joe, it's just kind of like, why should they give you the set when they could have given someone else the set? Like that. And so that's what makes it hard.
I think networking is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
like, that's the biggest thing I'm finding too. And obviously the podcast has helped.
Yeah,
like leaps and bounds because like I mean, it's sort of in a way it's sort of helped reconnect. Because you saw our podcast, me talking about DJing.
Yeah. I listened to it, like a few episodes of your podcast and stuff already. Yeah, and I heard you talking about it and like how you're inspired by Avicii and shit, and I was kind of like in my head, I'm like, dude, I have this fucking event, like I'll get fucking Evan set if .
Yeah, no, and it's like I think like it's helped. Like the podcast has already helped us sort of reconnect as like friends. It's from work, obviously. Then you drift. But no, it's cool, and like obviously you're heavily in the particularly in Perth in that space. Using you.
Yeah. But it's good. That's what it is. Because like I love anyone that's doing anything creative, bro. And like I love what you guys are doing here with like the podcast and shit like that. I think it's hella interesting, and like that you guys are just like taking a leap and just going, you know what, let's do it. Like we've been wanting to talk about it. Fucking do it. Like that's
only creative minds think that way though, bro. It like nowadays, it's like, when did it become like uncool to try?
Bro, 100%, man. I don't know why people.
I've heard so many people, like so many successful people, is like, fuck anyone who like just shits on you because, bro,
exactly, man.
Like you're just like, welcome to the real world. No, bro, that's just you just got to get past it. That's fucking fake, bro.
It
does 100%. Not exist, bro.
Oh, I got to ask you
but you can take the basic route.
That's where you stand. Like the hardest part is to just do it, because you have so many obstacles and so many people. Like once you break through that barrier of not giving a fuck what other people think,
they will all come back as well.
But that's what I was going to ask you. When you started, say, like touring or whatever, did you get people like hitting you up, like old friends and stuff, like saying like, "Oh, you reckon you can get me? You reckon you can get me like free drinks, bro? You reckon you can get me in the door here?"
100%, dude, 100%. But like, good thing, like, I was nice enough that like, I'll let them. Like, no one's ever fucking asked me like really stupid questions like, oh, can you get me in the fucking, you know, in this festival and stuff like that. And like, thank God, you know. But like, if I had a show, they would be like, oh, hey, we want to come and support you and stuff like that. Like, I've got them like reconnected friendships. Definitely from that. They're like, dude, I've been listening to your shit, man. Like, I didn't even know it was you. And people saying stuff like that. And like, that's amazing. You know, people that I wasn't even friends with in high school, and then there they are at my fucking show. You know what I mean? Like front row.
Fire.
And so it's you know, it just depends on how you carry yourself out as well. Because you can be, you know, doing successfully and still be a fuckhead. Because I meet so many people that are like doing, you know, that I've witnessed, you know, they really be really nice to me and stuff like that because we're like on the same circuit, on the same road. But then to like their fans, they're kind of like, I don't want fucking photos with you. Or, you know, they're like trying to avoid people because they want to try and put themselves as if like, yeah, they're more important than they are. Whereas I'm just like, I don't care. Like, dude, a bunch of the guys that liked listening to our music and shit one time we were in Brisbane were like, oh, do you want to come to the cast with us? I'm like, fuck it, I'll come to the cast with you. Let's go and watch the fucking FIFA World Cup game or something, you know?
Nah, that's sick. You are like extremely humble. I don't know if it's like, do you know that you're like actually, fuck, how do I do this without boosting your ego too much? No, like, bro, because when I see you, right, I'm seeing you in essentially, and I feel like majority of the audience that are interested in like DJing and stuff, I feel like they're going to see you almost how you might see like Flume.
Oh.
Sort of thing. The way you see, because you're a lot of people's inspiration, bro, you're like partly my inspiration to even start. Once I like heard that you were doing it and stuff, it's like,
that someone like me can do it. You know what I mean? I think I wanted to make it so that it makes people like understand that, you know, not everyone has to be coming from fucking a place of money or a place of wealth or doing this. That's how they got it. Like, I was just a normal dude, fucking packing boxes, just like you, bro. That's
why I think like you're insanely humble because a lot of people that would be in your position, I feel like would be fucking wankers, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like the people would be like, oh, you reckon you can get me on the guest list? They'll be like, nah, fuck you, bro. Yeah. Like, who are you? Like, I haven't spoken to you for like, it's like, I feel like that sort of shit. I feel like people are wankers. It
does happen, yeah.
But yeah, no, you're extremely
like,
humble,
I would have been bartending. So there's the point where I was like bartending at one point and there's people that came to my show and then now I'm fucking the next day I'm like bartending, you know, like serving them drinks.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, what? Like, they say the same shit. But I think it's because like I'm lucky that I was raised really well by my parents as well, to not be like that. And
yeah, for sure.
You know, and hoping that it's you know, because like people will never forget how you are and stuff like that. So
I feel like that's almost bigger than anything else, I guess. Like if people think you're a fucking asshole, like I would rather no one listen to my stuff, but like, think that I'm a good bloke than think I'm a wanker, but be mad famous.
Yeah.
Because if no one likes you, bro,
dude, that's it.
At the end of the day, like, what's the point?
Yeah. And if you don't have any friends and stuff, being alone, what's the point?
Well, like, imagine you did your show and then like after, it's like no one even come up to you. You just like, you just went and got a drink at the bar and went home. Like, that's a bit boring.
Pretty fucked.
It's like, fuck that.
And a good thing I have like a bunch of friends that always just keep me grounded as well, you know, because they'll be like, Quincy, settle the fuck down, mate. Yeah, calm down. Or like, you know, they'll literally like hammer me down if I do anything remotely fucking bougie. Like,
well, I can imagine how, like, bro, the feeling that I got just from DJing upstairs at Magnet.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's all subjective based on what you're doing and stuff, but like for me, like that was insane, and I was on cloud nine. Yeah. So like if you playing to 3,000 people, bro, to feel like you're fucking all powerful, you got this adrenaline's pumping through you, bro. Insane. Like you need.
I think the best feeling
you.
I've ever gotten in music is when like thousands of people just like sing your song. Or like chant along to your own song that you made, because like that's surreal. Like you're playing in front of them, but this is something that you made in a fucking laptop in probably some random hotel room. Like once upon a time when you're fucking like didn't even think that like they would vibe to it. You know, that's what it's an insane feeling. Like that's something that it's feeling that I always like want to chase. You know, people like singing and playing your own stuff is just fucking insane. It's unreal.
So going forward, bro. I mean, you said the other day that you were getting a bit emotional about where you're at type of thing. You're playing at nightclubs. Obviously, you said you're going to be doing seasons as well.
Yeah.
What's the future looking like for yourself, mate? Do you want to get back to touring once?
Yeah, 100%,
once
man.
we can.
Once COVID, this whole thing fucking, oh man, gets back to normal. Like I hope I can start touring. You know, I just want to be. I'm just trying to figure out like what I want to be like as an artist. Because like there's a part of me that's just like, you know, oh, I can be, you know, a singer, like a performer, like with a mic and not behind the decks. And then there's the other side where it's just like, I just want to play some hectic shit, you know. And that's the whole reason why, like the brand of Saint Quin, like you saw that there was a photo of me with my arms crossed like this, and it was like two faces.
Yeah,
that was like intentionally, like my branding was like that. Like the red side was the project Dawn Theory, which is my heavy shit. And then Saint Quin is like the performing
love
side.
it, bro. I love that because when you were just saying that, I was about to say, why don't you just do both, bro?
Yeah.
Like you said before, there's no rules.
Yeah.
So like,
that's right,
what's to say on a on a Wednesday at the local at like a decent event? Why can't? There's no reason you can't be singing your songs.
Yeah.
And then on a Friday night, you're ripping fucking drum and bass and fucking heavy shit. There's no reason, bro.
And so like, I want to try and do that, and like, but then like performing is a completely new art. I have to like perfect. You have to like how to set it up, how to sound like not like a muppet when you're fucking out there, you know.
Yeah.
And because DJing I've obviously got down packed, but it's like a completely new art now. And then so like now I've like made 3 super heavy songs, and I've got like 7 Saint Quin tunes, and now I've just got to start churning it out, you know. And that's gonna be like a really fun adventure. But man, shit nowadays costs money if you want it to get anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, look, I was actually having this conversation with my friend. Sometimes I often call a couple of people during the week, just have a chat. And I was actually talking to my friend. I was saying, I think with like, for me, I was talking about like the DJing and why it's sort of like, because in my head, I feel like I'm on a trajectory where like it's going to become like more, there's going to be more gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think like what drove me in the start, part of it, is the fact that I had invested like $5,000-$6,000 in like speakers and shit to do house parties and stuff. So it's like in my head, I'm like, I can't fail, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because if this fails, I need to at least make enough money where I've paid off the investment. And I think like if you have any sort of money, a lot of people don't have money. Like lucky for me, I worked full time backwards 2 years, had money saved up, so I could just go and buy it. But anyone that's trying to get into it, I think like you got to put like a little bit into it. So 100%. That you're 100% invested, because you're never, unless you're like the most driven person on the planet. If you have no, what's the word they say, like piece in the pie or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have no, whatever it is, if you got no like
no stake.
Yeah, stake, whatever it is. If you've got no stake like involved in the investment and what you're doing, it's gonna be so much harder to be motivated, bro.
Dude,
like,
100%, yeah.
I think, and that's probably the same with you with your music stuff. I imagine that's, well, obviously it's not free to get all the like the laptop, the sounding, whatever.
It's just like more like now I've got all the equipment, right? The only thing that is really important nowadays is the marketing, man. Like marketing is super big. Like, but that's because for me, myself, because I feel like I've already got my music and stuff down packed. For everyone else, make sure you get that down packed before the marketing stuff, because, you know, you want to make sure you put it good shit and people like your stuff. Like, but now, like for me, like I can put the budget to where it needs to be put budget, you know, because I don't need to get vocalists. I don't need to get someone mixing, mastering my shit. I can just do it myself, right? But then, like, you know, to put it out there, like a PR company, to send it to some reputable, like, sources, that costs money. You know what I mean? That's what fucking sucks, dude. Yeah. And then, you know, and then because like everything is always like super fucking hard. You're always in the negatives until you start literally like touring, man. Like that's when you start getting hella bank.
I think that's what as well people should realize, because I keep saying back to like these guys, a lot of people message me, bro. They were like, "Oh, can you ask him?" I'm like, "Bro, you guys got to understand. Like, I mean, you don't make money in any, like, bro. This podcast we've done for 4 or 5 months now, and we're getting
3, yeah.
We're getting a lot more people listening to us than what majority of people would when they start up.
Yeah.
Right. Like we got, like, I would say we get about 2,000 listens a week across both platforms, like audio and video. And we still haven't made a single cent.
Yeah. But like, we we acknowledge that. We
Yeah.
know that
Yeah, it's
this
fine.
isn't going to happen overnight.
Oh,
and just like
definitely.
your thing didn't
Yeah.
happen overnight. Ev's DJ thing, while he's buzzing where he's at right now, where he wants to get to, that's not going to happen overnight. You
Yeah.
have to graft. You have to, like you said, you're going to have plenty of fucking setbacks. You're going to be let down plenty of times, but you just have to realize it's all part of the journey, and you just got to head down.
People see the doom and gloom, bro. They see you when you're playing in front of 3,000 people, but like, bro, this shit is, you lose money. It's a grind. I mean, and you would know this better than anyone, and you could probably talk to it a bit more. Like, bro, you don't win within 2 months of learning, of getting into creative space. You don't put out a song and think
you
you're
don't
gonna
win
be
within
Martin
fucking
Garrix.
2 years, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't even put a date on it. You just gotta. It's a constant battle every day where you're just like, you just have to be like just honed in. Like this is what I do.
You gotta love
what
it.
I do. Yeah, you gotta love it. And then like you guys are so natural behind the fucking mic, so like you guys should just keep doing it. Don't ever have don't look forward, man. Always just look down. Look down. Do your own shit. By the time you look forward, then you look back. Like, so just keep stepping that fucking go up that staircase. And just don't look down, because then when you every time you turn back, you're gonna be like, fuck, shit, progress. But then the more you just keep going up that staircase, the same shit, different day, you turn around, you'll be like, fuck, dude, we've gone so far.
That's what I said to you. There's no elevator to success. You got to take the stairs.
Yeah,
it's so fucking true.
It's a fucking good one.
It's a good one, bro.
That's a good quote.
I think it's been a great chat, bro. But I just want to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
When it's all come to an end, bro, and it's all done, how do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered?
Yeah.
I interrupt this program, mind the messy room, the solo can, the water. The camera cut out for about the last 3 to 4 to 5 minutes of the podcast, so I gotta look into this camera, not into the actual screen. So yeah, it's going to be audio only for about the last 4 minutes on the YouTube. Otherwise, you go listen to it on any audio platform. So like, subscribe, follow Saint Quin on everything. He's a top bloke, and follow his music career, and we'll see where he's at in 5 years. But hope you enjoyed the podcast. So like, subscribe, follow us on everything, PNC lads everywhere, and have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the audio only. Thanks for listening.
Oh man, that's a good question, hey, because I still don't even know what my identity is. I think I just want to be remembered by someone that's made an impact on someone, creatively, like I have with you, man. Like, I just want to, if I could do that to people, like, fucking, that's my dream come true. I guess, like, I want to be remembered as someone that is a forward thinking musician, like, bring something different, because I still believe, like, what's in my head, is something hell unique that I can jot down that I think people will like. And if I can do that before I die, then fuck, man, that'll be like a dream come true. Hey,
well, you got a lot of life to live, bro. So I'm excited for you. I'm
the
excited
way
to
I'm
see where you're
drinking,
going.
mate, fuck, I don't know, brother.
I'm excited to see where you go, honestly. And like I said to you in the club, I was drunk, so it probably has less merit. But honestly, bro, like, massive inspiration for me, particularly now that like we've sort of reconnected. It's like, I'm gonna be hitting you up a lot, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm happy, man, to give you some advice and shit like that on like branding, and if you want how to kind of get started, and then like when I can, like, if there are people looking for DJs, I'll put your name up front and stuff like that.
Bro.
So it's all good.
I appreciate it heaps, and I particularly appreciate like Friday night as well.
Yeah, of course.
That was that Friday?
Yeah,
night?
last Friday.
Yeah.
Fuck, life moves quick, bro.
So quick, man. And here we are a week later.
Yeah, woo, on the PNC potty. Nah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Do you got anything coming out, like music wise, or?
Just
Plug.
yeah. At Saint Quin, at Saint_Quin on Instagram.
We'll pop it up on the screen as well.
Yeah, I'll be putting a bunch of
Links in
music and stuff, in the next couple of months. I might dip my toes into what you guys are saying, making different sounds, dubstep.
Hop on the TikTok,
Bro,
bro.
I'm telling
you, bro, as a music creator, if you make the right types of videos and follow the trends and shit, you will pop off, cunt.
Yeah,
And
I
honestly,
might get some ideas from you guys. Like,
that's been our biggest growth, TikTok. It's been everyone's biggest growth, and it'll go to your music, to
Bro,
all your other platforms.
I'm telling you right now,
Hop on
bro.
that.
Come back to me in like 2 months' time when my man's here has made a video making sounds into dubstep, and this bloke's living in fucking Vegas, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna get ideas from you guys of what I could make,
Use the
and then if you guys find like if you guys can find me like some cool ideas, like or you're like turning farts into like dubstep sound.
Bro, that's the big. I'm telling you, send him ideas. Also, yeah, we'll put all his socials and stuff in the descriptions. You got any music coming out like next couple of weeks or whatever?
No, next couple of weeks and stuff, but
we'll repost it when it happens. But yeah,
100%.
Stay tuned. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me,
forget
man.
the episode, bro. This has been like great for just myself to catch up with you.
Yeah,
and for
bro.
everyone.
I was kind of mesmerized.
great
Like,
bloke.
I'm literally I'm sitting to this man talk, bro. I'm just like,
He's a great speaker.
I'm
and
just
like
like,
you said, that
fuck,
raspy
bro,
voice.
like, I'm just taking everything he's saying in. I'm like, oh, bro. Nah, anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Episode
Cheers.
16 of the books. See you
Thank
later.
you guys. 16. Oh, it's my birthday, 16th of August.
Damn.
Episode 16. Oh, bro.